Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my hamstring tendinopathy injury and how I overcame it and how you can overcome it if you experience it. But first I'm going to be doing my usual morning mobility routine. So if you're new to the channel or you might have missed the videos, earlier this year I experienced an injury called hamstring tendinopathy. And basically I set myself a challenge to run 100k in May. Achieved it, but I did it in the wrong shoes. I ran too far too quick. I ran too quickly. I didn't stretch, didn't warm up, just did all of the typical errors that a lot of people do when they first start running or if they're just being a little bit lazy. And as a result, I did become injured. I've had a lot of injuries before through running, but this was by far the most painful one. Couldn't walk, couldn't run. It was painful to fully extend my leg, and it just wasn't a nice experience. And I have briefly spoken about it before, but I thought I'd make a quick video just basically going through how I overcame it, some tips, some advice if you might be experiencing it, and yeah, just general advice for hamstring tendinopathy and hamstring strain. I'm not going to go into full detail about what hamstring tendinopathy is because I think there's a lot to it and I'm not 100% sure on all the facts. So I will link different websites, different resources down below in the description. But basically, I think what caused it was just overdoing it, too much too quickly, going up hills, doing hill sprints, just too much pressure on the hamstring. So yeah, I'll link everything in the description below. The biggest advice that I can give you is go and see a physiotherapist. I know a lot of people avoid going to it because it's quite expensive or they self-diagnose themselves online like I did, but going to see a physiotherapist completely, it changed the whole injury for me because I did a lot of research and I came to the conclusion, and I think I actually did a whole video on it, that my injury was IT band syndrome. And basically, because it was so close to the bicep femoris, which is where my injury was, it kind of made sense why I thought it was IT band syndrome, and even the physiotherapist said that, but it wasn't IT band syndrome. And I was treating the IT band and completely neglecting what the actual injury was, what the muscle was. So definitely go and see a physiotherapist. Try not to get caught up in having to go every single week like I did, because I spent quite a lot of money on it because I thought it was the right thing to do. But he basically gave me some exercises to do, which I will show you. And he did some dry needling treatment on me, which is basically, it's a little bit like acupuncture. So he put different needles, or like a few needles in my hamstring, and you could kind of feel it shooting down to where the pain was, because basically, even though it was a hamstring injury, because it was pulling on the back of my knee was hurting. So when he was doing that, I could feel it at the back of my knee. And yeah, he just basically gave me some exercises to do. I had to do ice treatment on the back of my knee, and I had to put a hot water ball on my hamstring. And I wouldn't have known to do all of these different things if it wasn't going to see a physiotherapist. So there's two different stretches that I was given, and both of them are really, really similar and really simple to do. Basically, because I had trouble fully extending my leg and then bending it back, he told me that when I was performing these stretches, just have a slight bend in the knee and it'll be a lot more comfortable, but it'll still have the same effect. So repeat these exercises 4 times on each leg. So you'll do the single arm one and then you'll do the double arm one, if that makes any sense. So overall you're doing it 8 times, 30 seconds on each leg, and you will see a massive difference after it. And I still continue to do it. I've put it in my stretching routines, my mobility routines, just to make sure that I'm keeping my leg flexible, because my hamstring is extremely tight. embarrassing how tight my hamstrings are. So that is a work in progress, and because of this injury, I've definitely set new goals with what I want to achieve within fitness. So on top of the stretches, I was also given 2 different exercises to do. And again, they're both super simple. They're for strengthening your hamstring, and you do 3 sets of each, all of which until failure. So the first one is the hamstring curl. He did give me a resistance band, and I can perform that every single day. Just really focusing on slow, eccentric, concentric movements, just really controlling it and really feeling it within the hamstring. You can also do them with the hamstring curl in the gym, but I tend to just do it more at home. It's just easier, and you can watch telly doing it. It's less boring than just sitting there doing a hamstring curl in the gym and just taking up the hamstring machine forever. The second one is single leg RDLs or single leg deadlifts. I did it with a kettlebell, or you can do it without a weight. And again, they're super simple. What I did find with this though is it got my lower back quite a lot. So I didn't really keep this up as much as I should, but again, it did really help. I definitely saw a massive difference within my hamstring. My hamstrings feel, even though they still feel tight, they do feel strong. They feel stronger than they ever have done. And I think that was because I've been doing a lot of single leg, just really controlled movements. So yeah, that was pretty much all I had to do for my hamstring tendinopathy. I could still run, but I had to cut down the miles. I had to cut down how many times a week I was running. I had to make sure that I wasn't running the day after a leg day or the same day as a leg day. Just different things like that. Just making sure, just being sensible with it, basically. And that has definitely stuck with me moving forward. Like, I won't run anywhere near a leg day anymore. I just don't really see the point. I think eventually he did say that I could run after a leg day or the day after a leg day, but I'm that tight after doing weights and stuff, it just seems a bit daft to do it. So if I am running, it will be a good few days after a lower strength day. Right, so the reason why I've got this hat on is because I'm about to go for a walk, but I just wanted to say that with injuries, they're a setback, they're annoying, they get in the way, they hold you back and stuff like that. It can hold you back for weeks, for months, but you can see them as a negative or you can see them as a positive. And I definitely, to begin with, I saw this as a negative. It really brought me down. I couldn't run, I couldn't do certain exercises, and it really did stop me from doing the things that I enjoyed the most. But I got over it, took it as a positive, and because of it, I've started to look after myself a lot more. I'm getting into mobility, flexibility. I know that I want to increase my strength, and things aren't really about aesthetics anymore. Things are more about how I perform, how my body performs, how my body feels, what it's capable of, and I feel like I'm in a much better place because of it. So don't take injuries as a bad thing. Look at the positives and look at what you can work on, look what you can improve on. And that's the reason why I'm doing a lot more mobility at the minute. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm doing a lot more routines. I'm learning a lot. I've got some yoga blocks coming today, which I'm really looking forward to. And just increasing my knowledge in that field. And hopefully when I have clients, I can show them that kind of stuff as well. Just looking after your body, warming up, and just not being stupid, basically. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope it made sense. I hope you got something from it, and I hope you enjoyed it. So please like if you did. It really does help the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.